What do wild goose chase, green-eyed monster, and break the ice have in common? One writer. For centuries ago, William Shakespeare reshaped the English language, and we're still speaking his lines today. William Shakespeare, the world's most performed playwright, the poet of passion, politics, and the human heart. Born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon, England, Shakespeare was the son of a glovemaker. He studied Latin classics at the local grammar school, married Anne Hathaway at 18, and soon had 3 children. By his mid-20s he'd vanished from the records, then reappeared in London's exploding theatre scene. The lost years only add to his legend. Shakespeare became actor, playwright, and part owner of the Lord Chamberlain's Men, later the King's Men under King James I. His company built the Globe Theatre in 1599, where audiences stood shoulder to shoulder, cheering, hissing, and sometimes tossing fruit. Theatre was the cinema of its day, and Shakespeare was its box office king. Across roughly 39 plays and 154 sonnets, he mastered every mode. Histories like Henry V, Drums, Banners, and Questions of Power. Comedies like A Midsummer Night's Dream, Mischief, Mistaken Identity, and Love That Refuses Logic. Tragedies like Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth, where ambition, jealousy, and grief crack the human soul wide open. Late in life he wrote the romances, The Tempest and the Winter's Tale, stories of forgiveness, storms, and miracles. His superpower? Language that sounds like thought itself. He wrote mostly in iambic pentameter, a heartbeat rhythm, da-dum, da-dum. He played with blank verse and quicksilver prose. He's often credited with coining or popularizing over 1,700 words and phrases. Not to show off, but to make feelings visible, thoughts audible, and ideas unforgettable. Shakespeare didn't just tell stories. He asked questions we still wrestle with. What does power do to us? Macbeth. Can love survive status, family, and fate? Romeo and Juliet. Who are we when no one's watching? Hamlet. He cracked open jealousy, mercy, betrayal, forgiveness, aging, and wonder, then handed the mirror to us. His stage had minimal sets, so the words had to build worlds. Oh, for a muse of fire, he writes, and suddenly we're at war in France. All roles were played by men, so disguise and identity became delicious plot engines. He wrote for rowdy groundlings and for courtiers in velvet, packing his plays with sword fights, jokes, ghosts, and philosophy, entertainment with a PhD. Shakespeare retired to Stratford around 1613, and died in 1616 at just 52. He left behind a thriving company and a stack of scripts that friends compiled into the First Folio, the book that saved many masterpieces from being lost forever. Today, he's translated into every major language, performed everywhere from school gyms to the globe's modern reconstruction, adapted into films, hip-hop, and memes. When we reach for words big enough for love, grief, or ambition, we still find his. To be or not to be isn't just Hamlet's question, it's Shakespeare's dare. To examine our lives, name our truths, and speak them out loud. That's why the man from Stratford still rules the world stage. If words are bridges, Shakespeare built the ones we still cross.